Hi, precious heart. Thank you for joining us for our weekly vlog. Because of the urgency of the hour and just how oblivious the masses of humanity are of the negativity we are inadvertently creating in our own lives, the company of heaven wants to remind us once again of the things we all know but have simply forgotten. In recent vlogs, the beings of light have encouraged us to be more disciplined about how we are using our creative faculties of thought and feeling. If you have been trying to do that, you know how hard it is to pay attention to what you're thinking and feeling all day long, since we really are creatures of habit. The good news is it will get easier with practice. And because of the incredible changes that have taken place within all of us recently, it is going to be easier than ever before. I will share with you that from the time I was a very small child, I kept asking the question, why is there so much pain and suffering in this world? Even from a child's perspective, I knew that the negative things I was witnessing and experiencing were not the way things were supposed to be on earth. When I was older, I studied the gamut of world religions and sought answers in the fields of science and psychology. During my quest, I became aware that there is a unifying thread of truth running through all of the various schools of thought. That truth reveals that we are responsible for how we choose to use our life force, and that we will experience the results of our actions. This means, quite literally, that the energy we expend in whatever we are thinking, feeling, saying, or doing not only affects everybody and everything in our sphere of influence, it eventually returns to us through our everyday life experiences. In the realms of illumined truth, this unifying thread of knowledge is known as the law of the circle. In Eastern philosophies, this principle is referred to as karma, or the law of cause and effect. In Judeo-Christian teachings, this law is described by various phrases, such as reaping what we sow, or casting our bread upon the water and having it returned to us, or an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Gandhi said if we follow that philosophy, we will all end up blind and toothless. The statement should say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a hug for a hug, and a kiss for a kiss, so we get the whole picture. In science, the law of the circle is demonstrated in statements such as like attracts like, or radiation and magnetization, or for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. And finally, in metaphysical terms, the law of the circle is described as the out-breath and the in-breath of our Father, Mother God. The law of the circle confirms that at any given moment, our lives are reflecting back to us the sum total of our past experiences, as well as whatever we are currently empowering with our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. This means that we are not just innocent victims of circumstance who, through no fault of our own, are being buffeted about by things that are beyond our control. On the contrary, we are co-creating our lives daily and hourly with every breath we take. If we do not like what is happening in our life, by changing the way we are thinking, feeling, and behaving, we have the ability to co-create the life we want. When I became aware of that truth, my overwhelming question was that if every form of knowledge on earth, both spiritual and academic, is revealing that the things taking place in our lives, both good and bad, are the result of our own thoughts and feelings, then why hasn't humanity taken the necessary steps to stop the pain and suffering? Why in the world are we in the mess we are in? Why do we dwell on our fears and negativity instead of focusing on the positive and wonderful things we want to co-create in our life? After much contemplation, I knew that the answers to those questions were not outside of me. So I went within and asked my I Am Presence and my Father, Mother, God to reveal the answers to me. After a time of patience and remaining in a state of listening grace, the truth that we all have pulsating within the divinity of our heart flame began to surface into my conscious mind. First and foremost, the vast majority of humanity just goes through the day without paying any attention to what we are allowing ourselves to empower with our thoughts and feelings. Unless something happens that is extremely wonderful or extremely painful, we just let the thoughts of the day muddle through our mind and our feelings whip us around without any conscious direction at all. If something makes us happy, we just let it make us happy. If something upsets us, we just let it upset us. Consequently, every day, the majority of us are on an up and down roller coaster, both mentally and emotionally. This unconscious behavior is the main reason that we see so little progress when it comes to improving the quality of our lives. We take one step forward by deliberately thinking positive thoughts and working with the light for a period of time. Then we go about our day and stop paying attention. Within a very short time, we are taking 2 steps backwards with our oblivious thoughts and feelings. It is time that this counterproductive behavior stops. We are awake now, and we can no longer use the excuse that we did not understand how important it is for us to pay attention to how we are using our life force and what we are empowering with our thoughts and feelings. Now that we know that the life force and prana we receive with every newly elevated holy breath we take is comprised of intelligent electronic light substance, which is our gift of life from our Father, Mother, God. It is not only irresponsible for us to use our thoughts and feelings haphazardly, it is a sacrilege. Remember, whatever we are thinking and feeling, we are empowering, sustaining, and bringing into tangible form. Now that we are becoming consciously aware of that fact, we have an even greater level of accountability for how we use our thoughts and feelings. The good news is that because of the miraculous shifts of energy, vibration, and consciousness that have been taking place within our earthly bodies since the birth of this new decade, 2020 to 2030, our I Am Presence has fully integrated into the immortal, victorious threefold flame in our heart. Our I Am Presence now has a greater ability to clearly communicate with us through our intuitive inner guidance than we have experienced since our fall from grace. This aspect of our own divinity is now able to help us monitor our thoughts and feelings in new ways. All we have to do is ask for that intervention and affirm that profound truth. So this week, in order to start taking control of our thoughts and feelings in new and more powerful ways, let's simply begin every day by affirming, I am my I am presence, and I am one with my Father, Mother, God. Then, if we ask our I am presence to help us more consciously be aware of what we are empowering through our thoughts and feelings throughout the day, we will notice it is easier now than ever before to be consciously aware of what we are thinking and feeling. So pay attention and trust. You are powerful beyond your knowing. God bless you, dear heart. I look forward to being with you next week.